One thing I just started doing, two things actually. One thing I started leaving my phone in my bathroom, and so that when like the alarm goes off, I have to get up and go to my bathroom to turn it off. Okay. And then once I'm already out of the bed, it's just like I'm up, because the hardest thing for me when waking up is actually getting out of the bed.
That's
so. Good. Yeah, that's one thing I just started doing. And then I was watching a Kobe Bryant documentary last week, the anniversary, his 1 year anniversary of his death. And he was talking about how he took 1,000 shots every single day. Like that was his routine. Every day he had to take 1,000 shots. And so to me, I was like, okay, what if I can write 1,000 words every single day and that be my routine?
Wow. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, so I started yesterday, but I think that needs to be my new thing, because it really just, with anything in life, with any gift, you have to just keep practicing and keep getting better. And the more you do it, the more you do it, the better you'll get.
Right. Yep. And so, are you talking about 1,000 words for a book you're working on, or your ghostwriting process?
No, just 1,000 words in general. So really like journal entries.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, 1,000-word journal entries. Mm-hmm.
Utilizing your time wisely. Some advice I want to give to aspiring authors looking to get out of the corporate world is to invest. We have to invest in our craft. So whether that's hiring, finding somebody on Fiverr or Upwork to help you with certain tasks, because certain things you don't have to do yourself. You have to just pay for others so that you have that time to work on your craft.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, I agree, because entrepreneurship in general can seem overwhelming. Like it can seem like such a big task when you just look at all the things that you need to do. Yes. But that's why I agree with you. Because if you can just delegate some of those tasks, it could definitely just free you up and make it seem less intimidating. The whole journey, excuse me. Mm-hmm. Dope. And so now I want to go back 2017 time and talk about when you first published your book. What were some of the, marketing strategies that you used to like get out there and, get access to podcast interviews, radio interviews, and the essence and all of that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when it came to podcast interviews, I found somebody on Fiverr to pitch my bio to podcasters that had the same message that my book was talking about. Instead of me, researching, because that took a lot of time in itself, I got on Fiverr to do that. And I also developed a marketing plan that involved like a weekly schedule. So let's say Monday I would do, and it's just an example. So Mondays I would do Mindset Monday, Tuesdays, Testimonial Tuesdays, where I would post a testimonial that someone has shared with me about my book. Wednesdays I would do a, what's a good Wednesday?
Wellness Wednesday.
Wellness Wednesday, Thursday, Throwback Thursday, Friday, things like that. So I would, rinse and repeat that. And I would share, the cover of my book, talk about the inspiration behind it. And then I would take, snapshots inside my book too, and tell the story of what I was going through. And just by me being transparent and consistent, that's what helped me to get other opportunities. And then the Essence and Black Women's Expo, those opportunities presented themselves to me by my sorority sisters. They, they advocated for me for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that. And those are two powerful things, transparency and consistency. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad you mentioned both of those. And how do you remember, like, around how much was that person on Fiverr? Just to give people an idea of, like, how reasonable it is.
Yeah, $15.
No way.
Yeah, and you gotta make sure that for people that's listening, make sure you read their reviews, see how high they're rated, and just shoot your shot.
That's crazy, because I was at least like, okay, it looked like 75, 100,
It's $15.
Wow. So yeah, Fiverr. That's Fiverr. I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have
Def-
like certain levels. So I chose the $15 level because they pitched to maybe 100 podcast hosts, and
mhm.
and from what I can recall, she had a $5, 15, then 30, and a $5. She only pitched to maybe like 50. So
Yeah, and she went and found it herself, right? The
mhm.
podcast. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, you can find almost anything on Fiverr.
Yeah, yeah, man. There's so many resources out there, for
Mhm.
just aspiring authors and entrepreneurs.
Yes.
But cool, cool. So one question just came to my mind. So as a ghostwriter, is it how well? How do I want to ask this? So as a ghostwriter, how do you still find time to make sure you're telling your own story?
Whew, that's a great question. I do have a book that's I'm hoping well, I'm not gonna say anything negative. It will be out this year.
There it is.
Thank you. It's done being written, but the most time consuming and difficult part is the editing piece. Because I keep thinking about, certain things I've been through recently, in terms of me resigning from my job. And I'm like, should I put that in the book? And it's like, at some point, you have to learn to stop editing. But the book, I wrote my own book just by, again, put myself on a schedule because my time is limited. So with my first book, I was writing a chapter per day. This time around, I did a chapter per week, no matter what. So yeah, that's how I did that. Just have to, find those small pockets of time and do that. And also, I leave my cell phone in my car when I'm writing
Yeah.
to avoid distraction.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. I feel like you gave so many gems today.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. And then at the end of every episode, I give three takeaways. I call it Visionary Minute. I go over three takeaways that I personally took away from the episode. And so this week's Visionary Minute will be very, very valuable. So make sure you stick to the end for that. Let's see. Oh man. So what has been your favorite part, or no, let me put it like this. What has been the most valuable part of your journey so far? And by valuable, I mean it has taught you the most, or taught you the most valuable lesson.
Hmm. Is people who I thought would support me would not, but they made room for people who I didn't know to come and support me and show me love, more love than what I thought that other people would have shown me.
Yeah, I like that. And I seen so many like memes and Instagram posts that say that like the most support is going to be from people that you don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And
Go ahead.
No, you said, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've made so many social media friends, like they call them business besties, because of me sharing my story and just put myself out there. So yeah, that's the most valuable lesson I've learned is that people that may say that they're going to support you, they may not always will. And, not to throw any shade or be upset with them, but it's just like I said, they made room for other people.
Yeah. And I feel like that's really important to just know beforehand going into it, because if you don't have the expectations, then it kind of just it doesn't make it as bad, I feel like, versus if you expected some like your people close to you to support you and they don't, then it's just like it makes you feel bad.
Yeah. But
So
I got over it.
Yeah. That's cool. I like that a lot. What are some of your? I know you're an avid reader. So what are some of the books that you've read that have helped you along the way of just becoming an entrepreneur and a ghostwriter and editor?
Yes. So I'm reading a book currently. It's called The Big Leap by I can't think of his name right now. But yeah, it's called the Big Leap. It's a blue book with a fish tank, a fish jumping out of a fish tank. That's really helped me just to like zone in or hone in on my zone of genius. Because
Mm,
honestly, I have a lot of things, well, a few things that I'm good at, but you don't want to be known as a jack of all trades or a Jane of all trades. You just kind of want to focus and do that one thing, and then do that one thing well. Then that's when you can branch off. But entrepreneurship is not about doing a whole lot of things all at once because you don't want to
yeah.
confuse people.
Hmm.
So that book has really helped me with that. And then there is the manifestation manifesto. I know that was a tongue twister.
The manifestation manifesto.
Yes. Yeah. And I don't have that book in front of me either right now. I can't think of the author, but it's a black book with gold letters. And I'm looking at my bookshelf here. And then I have a one-page marketing plan by Alan.
Mm,
That
I
was
have that too.
Yeah. You read that too?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I did have a whole bunch of books, but what happened with the COVID
Yeah.
this past summer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
slowly building up my library again.
That's cool.
And
Yeah.
another
And then
one,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good.
Another one is called Traction.
Yeah, my job uses traction, and
Okay.
we do like we use the traction like the Excel sheet that they have with the quarterly rocks and
Hmm.
all of that stuff. We use that at
Okay.
work.
Awesome.
Yeah. Very cool, very cool. And then as we come to a close, I do because you just brought up like the fire incident. I don't know if you want to talk about that or
No, I'm fine.
so just tell us what happened last summer.
Oh, so I remember the date like it was yesterday, June 30th, 2020. My apartment building got caught on fire, and I was only able to grab my laptop, my keys, and no, my laptop, my wallet, and my cell phone because I was sitting at the kitchen counter. I was doing some online shopping, and that's the three things I had in front of me. And then my neighbor banged on my door, told me to get out. I didn't have any shoes on or anything, but I watched everything I've owned just burn up in flames, including the note that my teacher wrote to me in sixth grade. Um, yeah, and then it's ironic because like hours after that happened, that's when I got the call from you regarding the ghostwriting project that we worked on together.
Mm,
So, and then that July, because it happened June 30th, or just the very end of June. July was my highest grossing month that I made.
wow.
I made money as an entrepreneur. Well, at that time I was still working my job, so I should say a side entrepreneur. But yeah, it was a lot, and it's still kind of hard to talk about, but I need to talk about it. But
Mm,
it's just like losing a person.
yeah, yeah, and it's so crazy because I mean it's a testimony now, but I'm sure at that time it was just a test that you had to overcome. And just as we like talked about, your story and your journey so far today, there's so many glimpses of just like a major downfall and then like coming up, right?
Mhm.
From just the relationships to the book to then getting ghosted to then starting your own business to then the fire and then grossing as an entrepreneur. It's like so many ups and downs. So like how have you been able to remain positive, when you're going through something that seems like it's gonna take you down?
Mhm. Yeah, so I had a mentor back when I was living in Indiana, and she would always say, "It's all working for your good. It's all working for your good," and that always stuck with me. No matter what we're going through, just try to find the positivity that can come from our negative situations. So with the fire, after that happened, I had to move in with my sister and my family temporarily until I got my own place again. Um, and before I moved in with them, I know they were saying little jokes here and there about, oh, we feel like we have to make an appointment to see you or give you a call because you're so busy. And by me being there with them, we got closer, and that's what I needed at the time. Well, I needed all the time, but it just taught me to make time for my loved ones and to
Mm-hmm.
not be too busy for them or have them feel like I'm too busy for them. So now
Mm-hmm.
I, schedule. I don't mean to say it like I'm so busy I have to schedule time for my family, but it is what it is.
So,
So we spend time every Sunday now.
yeah, I love that. That's such a great lesson. And one of my favorite quotes is, "You never win. I mean, you never lose. I'm sorry, you never lose. You either win or learn."
Exactly. Yeah.
So I love how you're able to learn lessons. I love how you're able to learn lessons through that, and this has been great. I'm so happy that we got it. We were able to do this episode today. And what's one last piece of parting advice before I get you to tell people where they can find your book and reach out to you? What's the last piece of parting advice that you want to leave today?
Yeah. So on the topic of quotes, I have this quote that I live by. It's by Earl Nightingale. Where it says, "Never give up on the dream because of the time it takes, because the time will pass anyway." I
Mm,
love that quote because a lot of people they go into something and look at the end goal and don't want to, I guess, or they overlook the time in between where that's really the learning lesson and the things that we go through or the things that we are doing. So when it comes to writing a book, they main thing they want to know is when will it be finished or when can I release it? But or they want to hurry up and get done with it. But you just
mm.
have to stick to the process and trust the process.
Yeah, beautiful. Love that. Love that. Thank you so much. And so let people know where they can find your book and also where they can find get access to you.
Yeah, so my book is on my website, www.jerralatrice.com. And it's also on Amazon, the Kindle version. And you can find me on Instagram under Jerra Latrice, the author. Jerra is my first name, Latrice, the writer. And I'm also on LinkedIn. And yeah, that's it.
That's it. Awesome. Awesome with Jared. Thank you so much for coming on today. Everybody, I hope you gained value from this. Stay tuned for the Visionary Minute and also stay tuned for the episodes next week. Peace and love.
Bye. Thank you.
And so this part of the episode is called the Visionary Minute, where I go over 3 key takeaways from the previous episode. In this episode with Jerra, she dropped so many gems, but I'll keep it to 3. The first one is just the 3E process, which is the process she goes to when she's taking on a ghostwriting client. And to refresh your memory, the 3 E's are engage, enhance, and edit. And I like this so much because I really believe it's important as an entrepreneur and as a creative to have a process for the way you go about your work. 1, because it keeps you organized, and 2, because it helps you work smarter, not harder. And the second takeaway is that the people closest to you probably won't support you. And I think is super important to remember as you're getting ready to release a project or start a business or create a product. Most of your support will come from people that you don't know, right? So I think if you set your expectations to that level, it'll save a lot of heartache and a lot of just negative energy. And lastly, I want to end with this. She says, all things are working for your good. And I just want to leave with that positive affirmation because I am a strong believer that life happens for you, not to you, and that you're not a victim, but you're a conqueror. And so I'm going to leave you with that. Hope you enjoyed the episode. And if you did, please leave a comment, share it, leave a review, and come back next week for the next episode. Thank you. Peace and love.